Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are going to learn the C language variables, everything about the variables. So, variable is just like a container in the memory RAM which can have different values according to your choice. Whenever you want to change, you can change the value of a variable. So, by definition, a variable is a named memory location. Variables hold a value that can be modified, we can change it, and reuse many times during the program execution. Each variable has a unique name called identifier. For example, name, roll number, percentage. If you want to name a variable, here are some rules. The first one, a variable name can only contain alphabets, uppercase or lowercase, digits, and underscore sign. For example, capital, sum, age, var123, roll underscore number are all the examples for variable names. The second rule is variable name must begin with a letter or an underscore sign. You cannot use a digit to start a variable name. For example, sum underscore age, var123, my underscore name are the perfect variable names, whereas 20h is not a perfect name of the variable according to rule of the C language. The third rule is a reserved word cannot be used as variable name. For example, all these are reserved words in character, float, case, break. You cannot use them to name a variable. The fourth rule is a variable name should be concise, like name, age, grade, sum. You cannot use this much long variable name. This variable is used to store number. It's very much difficult to repeat writing it many times in the program. So avoid using these kind of variable names. So here is an activity. Tell me which one is the valid variable name. So let me tell you. All these are the valid variable name. You will say that float is not a variable name because it's a reserved word. No, it's with capital F, and you know that the C language is case sensitive. So we can give the name of the variable with the capital F. Here are the data types of variables. There are three. The first one is int, the second one is float, and the third one is character. As the name indicates, int only can store integers, either they are negative or positive integers, or a number without a sign is known as unsigned integer, and a number with a sign negative or positive is termed as signed integer. Float has all the values with decimal points in it. They may be negative or positive. And the character can store only a single character enclosed in the single quotes. If we talk about the storage capacity of the data types, int, character, and float, int can have 4 bytes of memory, means that 32 bytes. It can store up to -2 billion to 2 billion integers, and unsigned 0 to 4 billion. Float has the capacity of 4 bytes, means 32 bits, and it can store 3.4 into 10 raised to the power -38 to 3.4 into 10 raised to the power +38 values in it. And the character has a storage capacity of only 1 byte, means 8 bits. It can store up to maximum 255 characters. Now come to variable declaration. How do we declare or define a variable? Variable declaration includes specifying its data type and giving it a valid name. For example, look at the syntax, data type and variable name along with the semicolon. For example, int age. Here int is the data type and age is the name of the variable. Float height. Float is data type and height is name. Character is data type and gender is the variable name. Unsigned int salary. You can also mention signed or unsigned if you want with the int character data type. So unsigned int salary, where unsigned int is the data type and salary is the variable name. A variable cannot be declared until we mention its data type. For example, if we simply write a and semicolon, C language will give you an error. You have to mention the data type with it, int, character, or float. After declaration, its data type cannot be changed. If you have declared a variable with any of the type, for example int here, you cannot change the data type afterwards. Declaring a variable means that you will specify the type of the variable, the range of the values allowed by that variable, and the kind of operations that can be performed on it. So now it's time to initialize a variable. Assigning values to the variable for the first time is known as a variable initialization. The syntax is data type variable name equals to value. For example, int age is equals to 16, where int age is the part of declaration and equals to value is initialization. Float height 5.5 and character gender f. All these variables are initialized with the value. You have to remember a variable can be initialized at the time of declaration, just like this. As soon as you declare it, you can initialize it. And the second is a variable can be initialized after declaration. First, declare the variable, and afterwards you can initialize it. So today we have learned the variable, identifier, rules for naming variables, data types of variables, variables declaration, and initialization.